Top 10 most compliment-worthy Middle Eastern cheapies for the ladies, whether it's for yourself or for your girl.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neve. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about some of the most compliment-worthy Middle Eastern cheapies for the ladies. We always cover a bunch of fragrances, and we do women's fragrances too. A little bit more so in the short content, short format, so make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and all of that good stuff. But today's going to be a top 10 most compliment-worthy women's Middle Eastern cheapies. These are all fragrances that I personally think would get a crap ton of compliments, at least from me. Anytime I smell these, they're intoxicating, they're head turning, and yeah, I would want to smell this on a woman. And if she wore this, then it would do a couple of things. But anyways, gentlemen, these will also make great gifts for your woman, your lady, whoever you want to gift it to, genuinely. They don't smell cheap whatsoever, so let's get rid of that stigma because they wouldn't be compliment worthy to me personally if they smelled cheap. If you like content like this, and if you're looking forward to more women's content as well, make sure to subscribe now, and let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Starting things off, we're going to start off a little bit bold, a little bit woody, and also unisex. Although this does lean slightly feminine, it's more understandably unisex feminine for the ones in the East. And for the Western taste, I would say tread carefully into this territory. It's called Marj by Ahmed Al-Maghribi. It's got incense, it's musky, it's leathery, and also woody at the same time. Reminds me of the whole Imperial Valley vibe, which it in itself is like the signature scent of Dubai, but this one adds a little bit more of a fruit top to it, so it makes it easier to wear. Ladies, you will definitely find that this one will be more well suited than something like Imperial Valley in itself. But that's not to say that that's not a great fragrance. It's just kind of doing its own thing in that respect. So this is another fragrance that my sister absolutely fell in love with. She took it. If you like Oudi perfumes, this is a great one. You absolutely must have in terms of Oudi fragrances for women. It lasts all day as well. Sure, the price tag, it's still under $100, but with Ahmed Al-Maghribi fragrances, you're truly getting, and I mean, I have absolutely no problem saying that you're truly getting niche quality with these fragrances. So they're next level stuff, and that's exactly what this one is. Addicting, intoxicating, sexy. A woman smells like this, it's kind of got aphrodisiac vibe. This is for the women who like fragrances that have like patchouli, for instance, because it does go woody, earthy, etc. Although not nearly as thick as something as patchouli. Just giving you guys my opinion and insight as to who this is going to cater to. This is going to be for the lady who likes those vibes. Oudi Bakhur, that's the one for sure. Lasts all day in occasions, literally every single day. Dressed up or dressed down, you could easily rock it. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't really recommend dressing it down, but I would recommend grabbing it because this is easily something I would comp. Moving on to the next one, something less serious, a bit more playful. This is flirty, this is sweet. This is kind of in that whole, you know, bubblegummy nature of things. This isn't anything that you want to get into like sexy vibes, you know, or sexy time vibes, but it's something that's still pretty fun and flirty. This is called Pear Potion by Paris Corner. It has a lot of this lychee vibe, pear, berries, and that's basically what it smells like, a gummy bear, basically. I love that vibe. I truly love that vibe. This one just seems extremely rich in its sweetness, but not too cloying. Although rich and gummy and sweet, definitely not too cloying. It has like this fresh, watery aspect to it. Literally, my mouth is watering just by sniffing that one. So if you're looking for something fun for the spring and fall time, or spring and summertime rather, sorry, this is the one to go with. And I don't imagine that this would give you any less than 6 hours. It just seems so damn strong off of the atomizer. They've honestly been killing it with a lot of the women's offerings. Paris Corner, I should say. And for most of these, you can find them all in the links with the cheapest prices down in the description. At least I think so. If you find it for cheaper, then go for it. That's ultimately what we're after, am I right? So Pear Potion, nevertheless, is still something flirty, fun, seductive, playful, in a sense of if you like flirty fun. For me personally, I like that vibe, man. Like, you know, all right, let's not get carried away, but I like that vibe. You know, maybe some pigtails, whatever, braids, and let's not, okay, enough. This, 6 hours, picnic vibes, just flirty fun, written all over it. Vacations, all of that good stuff. Easily compliment worthy. Honestly, I'd take a bite out of somebody rocking this. All right, let's take it easy. Next fragrance we're gonna go on to talk about is also from Paris Corner. Ladies, they genuinely have some bomb-ass fragrances. This is called Khair Pistachio. Khair Pistachio smells like pistachio gelato. It is inspired by Kayali's Yum Pistachio, but this has a bit more of a light nature to it. It's not as frothy, creamy, and it makes it more appropriate for even getting away with it during the spring and summertime. You could easily rock this. This is where we're starting to take things into more of a creamy vanillic territory, and it gets less playful, but it's still relatively flirty, fun, and easy to wear. Definitely still in that territory, not being as, you know, juvenile as something like this. This one just seems a little bit flirty and funner in a younger way, whereas this one is like flirty fun in a more, you know, tamed, and I would definitely say in a more mature fashion for sure. This does smell also like Lattafa's Affection, but the reason why I say this one is because it's slightly lighter and it's more diffusive, so it projects a little bit better. Affection lasts lasts all day, and that's also compliment worthy, and one of the top compliment worthy, but in a world of trying to stick to 10 fragrances, which is really hard. I've probably got 90 women's cheapies. We will make another list of this rather than overwhelming you ladies and gentlemen with 20, 50 fragrances you need. You know, it's better to do 10. And in totality, I've gotten over like 200 cheapies, women's cheapies, and of which I've only kept around 90. So yes, I probably have about 30 to 40 that I would say are compliment worthy. And I'm not trying to condone hoarding or purchasing or anything. I've purchased these for the purpose of review, strictly. And for the most part, these are the 10 that really popped into mind as soon as I looked at them. So I would argue that these could be potentially top 10 most complimented Middle Eastern cheapies. With that out of the way, this I've rocked. And I think, gentlemen, you can get away with rocking it if you're comfortable. If you're comfortable with it. Personally, I'm confident I have no problem rocking it. And if a woman were to rock this, I'd probably drool as we're having a conversation. So that's the problem with this fragrance, but could be a good problem to have, ladies. This lasted for me no less than 8 hours, which is really good because when I initially sprayed it on, I didn't expect much of it. Actually, the first day I wore this, I sprayed it on, I went to bed, woke up, and it was still there. Amazing stuff. And genuinely, this is one I got out of bed to make a short about. A great one. Moving on to the next one. Now let's go back into that really sexy and raunchy territory with Oud and Roses by Ahmed Al-Maghribi. This is not for the faint of heart. This is Bakhur to the max. Ladies, so damn sexy. It's straight up Bakhur, basically. And for those of you that don't know, Middle Eastern incense. It smells like a bunch of fragrance oils, very specifically Oud and Rose, hence the name. And those fragrance oils are usually seeped into agarwood, sometimes some oud, etc. And then you put it on a charcoal and you let it, turn into incense. And that's what this smells like. You bottled that incense, not necessarily the oils and the oud, the incense itself. So raunchy, very seductive, and an aphrodisiac vibe, but it does have a mature nature to it for sure. You gotta be somebody that's just very confident. This exudes just, my God, it is what it is. Let's keep it moving, okay? Lasts all day, by the way. Let's not keep going into that one anymore. Next one, Latafas and Nashama. I think this is unisex, leaning slightly feminine. It's got plum, it's got incense, it's got peppers, it's got fruity nature, it's got a jammy nature, a sweet nature. It's beautiful, man. It's very unusual for a lot of people, but it's extremely sexy and seductive. I find this to kind of revolve around the whole Initio Paragon style DNA, except it doses it in a lot more sugar and a lot more jammy plum, making it more versatile and making it more fun and less serious. But you can slightly dress this one up and also dress it down. Not too dressed down, to be honest, because it smells really, really good. Honestly, although I find that to be the case, I personally wouldn't see anything wrong with signature scenting this. And honestly, you could signature scent whatever you want, but personally, I wouldn't recommend signature scenting something like Oud and Roses, etc. It might be a little bit too much every single day, but if you atomize it a little bit less, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing exactly that. Let's go back to softening things up a little bit with some florals, shall we? This is called White As Tuberose. One of the best tuberose cheapies that I personally have in my collection. An absolutely beautiful tuberose based fragrance that also lasts all day. It's pretty thick, it's indalic, but also doesn't get cloying. It's like the perfect dose of jasmine and tuberose at the same time. You're absolutely gonna get something that smells like grape juice, and that's what's going to, be the case for a lot of tuberose fragrances, because that's generally the most common accord you'll get with tuberose, and that's what I get. It smells a little bit of Welch's grape juice, a little bit of some other florals, a fresh aspect at the top, and an undertone of powdery cosmetic vibes. Love this stuff, and for the price, it's really nice. The only gripe I have about it is maybe the fact that the plaque on the front doesn't look the most expensive, but still, these are cheapies, and we're after the juice that's in the bottle, and really, if we wanted to talk about that, I mean, I'm not really the craziest about this plastic cap either. Nevertheless, this will last you all day, ladies, and you can easily signature scent this as well. Maybe not the highest of summer heats, but you can wear what you want whenever you want. It's still something that's compliment worthy, and I personally would compliment somebody rocking this. Although I do say you wear what you want when you want, the climate and appropriate climates are going to convert into basically compliments, and I don't think that you'll get many if you're rocking this in the high heat. Fall, springtime, and maybe even during the winter time, this will probably work. You do have to like I said, the tuberose, specifically the tuberose, to enjoy this one. Moving on to the next one, this is spring and summer all day, but you could also rock this in the fall time because it's really that strong. I would say the winter time because it has a longevity, but as I stated with this fragrance, wearing it in a more appropriate season will convert into more compliments. This is called Al Haramain's Amber Oud Gold Edition. Everybody knows this to be one of the best Erba Pura inspos, and that's absolutely the case. There are a bunch of other ones that are still pretty good, but this is probably the highest quality. Like if you don't have the means for like 55, 60 bucks, Latafa has a fragrance. It's called Ana Abyad. It's actually pretty good. A little bit more synthetic for sure, but still compliment worthy. It smells like a fruit chopped salad, or a chopped up fruit salad, I should say. Simple as that. Extremely bright. It might be too much for some people. A lot of people find this unisex. I personally personally don't. I would never wear this scent profile or DNA. It's just way too fruity, and there are better fruity fragrances for men. This, strictly feminine, and I think that it's a really good one. I will say, however, that you have to smell this in the air. Don't spray it on and then go up close and try and sniff it, because even with Herba Pura, when you do that, it's gonna smell so freaking synthetic. And that might be the similar case, honestly, but still, in the air, it's absolutely beautiful, and it'll shine the best spring, summer, and fall time. Fall time, you could easily get away with it, just not the most appropriate. Compliment worthy for sure, specifically the sillage. Moving on to the next one, this is pretty much rose, like just straight up rose. Not a rose that's too acidic, nor too sweet. It smells like a rose that's almost ripened, but not fully. This is called Infini Rose by Maison Alhambra, and this is probably one of the most naturalistic rose-smelling cheapies that are going to give you exactly that, rose, and that's it. A lot of people will compare Badi' al-Oud Amethyst to Atomic Rose, but in fact, I find this to be much closer, and the quality of this smells honestly like damn near niche quality. For the price, it's absolutely insane. What you're gonna get with this is a very clear-cut rose, natural smelling, and it actually lasts about 6 to 8 hours, which is not bad for the price. And for those gentlemen who like the note of rose, you can get away with it. I do find it to lean feminine for sure, but if you just want to smell like the perfect rose, that's exactly what it is. I personally find beauty in simplicity. I like a woman who's not overly covered in makeup, not like, you know, lip injections in like their backside, and then they've got like a backside on their lip and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, if you do, it's all good. It is what it is. But embrace your booty. I mean, embrace your beauty. Nice. And what God gave you. Now, medical conditions, etc., that's a whole different story, but don't let social media, don't let social norms tell you what is beautiful. What God created you with is what the beauty is, okay? Unless, like I said, you have medical conditions, then I pray that God, you know, helps you. There are many ways that you can, you know, benefit from those medicinal approaches. That's absolutely fine. Let's get back to the freaking fragrance. It smells amazing. It smells like rose, okay? You're gonna get a compliment with this fragrance, and if they don't compliment you, walk past me and watch. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is actually really good. It's smooth, it's got almond, vanilla, powdery cinnamon. This is like, it smells extremely elegant. It has a hefty dose, or an accord, I should say, a hefty accord of cherries. And that's generally speaking what comes with the note of almonds. Even if you go and sniff almond extract, you're gonna get an undertone of cherry. This is called Shaghaf Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. Ladies, you know, and gentlemen, you know that Swiss Arabian comes out with some of the craziest oils and longest lasting fragrances that are high quality. And that's no different. Smells a lot like BDK's Velvet Tonka, and I find that one to lean slightly feminine as well. Almondy, glazed, cherry undertone with some spiced cinnamon and vanilla. You do have to enjoy a little bit of those spices, and you definitely have to enjoy the note of almond, because that's what the heart of this fragrance is. Extremely glazed, and some might say that the glazed nature of almond will give you a stale vibe. And yes, it does give you a stale vibe, but it's counteracted with a hefty dose, or a decent dose, not hefty, but it's definitely there, and a good amount, enough to notice. I would say about like 40% of the fragrance smells like it might be cinnamon, so it kind of does a good job at counteracting the staleness, but overall glazed, refined, and long lasting, and projecting. I rocked this one, and it lasts me like pretty much the entire day. I would say about nine hours, which is pretty much the entire day. In terms of the projection, I could smell myself for like almost 6 hours, so it was there almost the entire day. And that's pretty much it with the Oud Tonka. Very refined. It's for those who have a super high-end refined taste. It smells like somebody with money. It smells very refined, and the almond definitely adds or contributes to that luxury feel. Most of these smell niche. That one specifically also smells niche as well. But I mean, is that really saying much? Because most of these smell, well, I wouldn't say personally that the Pear Potion smells niche, because it is flirty and playful. But for the most part, I would say that the rest of these do smell niche, except for more basic or simple style fragrances. Like I would say that white As Tuberose is not really anything groundbreaking. It's still like a designer quality for sure, but I wouldn't say like, whoa, niche quality. What doesn't change is a compliment factor, and I find the quality for these to at least be like designer level stuff. Moving on to the last one. This is like designer level stuff that's treading into niche quality, but the scent profile isn't necessarily a niche scent profile, I would personally say. But it's extremely mass appealing. It smells fresh. It smells clean. It smells like a more wearable style of rose and peony. Peony is a pink style floral that kind of livens things up, and it keeps things from going dark, kind of like the color of the bottle of this self kind of translates into what it smells like. This is called Mystique Pink by Ahmed Al-Maghribi, relatively new, and basically this is a pink floral fragrance that you can wear every single single day. You can signature scent it. It's got aspects of refinement, playful, flirty, without ever being like young or anything like that. So if all of those like appeal to you, or if you like floral but you also like flirty, etc., this is like the best of both worlds. I think this is a beautiful fragrance that smells niche quality, and you can easily rock this every single day. It genuinely smells like something you would have picked up at Macy's, ladies and gentlemen, and would be one of the best gifts to give. Well, I mean, all of these would be great gifts, but some are very specific compared to the others. As far as safety, I find this to be probably one of the safest ones because, like I said, it has aspects of a lot of these other fragrances that I mentioned. Not really sweet, maybe naturally sweetened by like those floral aspects, but it has some florals. It's not overdosed. It's not overdosed in any sweetness. It's not overdosed in any citruses. It just smells like a musky pink floral fragrance that's feminine and that's very, very compliment worthy. And coming from this house, I have no doubt that this is going to perform. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Top 10 most compliment worthy Middle Eastern cheapies for women and some for gentlemen. Fragrance or unisex, depends on what you're comfortable with. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and yes, you can wear oud all year round. Till the next one, peace.